Shalom Akim, Yabashim Yahushai, Barakatam, Basham Rakakadash, Nasha again with a brief video to keep the Akim on their tips and toes, man, because these are terrible times going into, man. Because all these so-called politicians across the world, especially those of the West, they all connected, man, to the agenda of these so-called Amalekite elites, man, because they gotta have World War III. They're looking for that ultimate dominion, so they'll go to every extent, wherever they see necessary to show their power. They got puppets everywhere, man. From local politicians all the way to your ambassadors and presidents. Your generals and so-called doctors and lawyers. Yeah, they got the heavy influence, man. This APAC, the American Israeli, the Public Affairs Committee or whatever, a Political Action Committee. So it's part of the program, that these elites, man, have to dominate the economy of the world. And the Amalekites, they always like to do things in the secret, man. Because I witnessed that myself, like seeing how much damage they could do, you know. So all they care about is just themselves. So just you can imagine, how furious the Most High is, man, of all the atrocities these Amalekites waging upon the face of the earth, the destruction they're causing. People just getting poisoned left and right. People getting bugged out on the drugs and from all these pharmaceutical uh, companies. Educational system is whack. Transportation is whack. I mean, who can you blame but the Amalekites, man? Because they're the ones at the helm of this madness, man. The legislations and all that stuff. They're the ones behind it. So I'm just gonna play the video, let you see how much of an influence they have. It's a brief one.
Come to APAC, I am with friends. I knew that Jerusalem was, is, and will always be the capital of Israel.
Not about that,
might have
but
seen that the top
it belongs to the
Palestinian
so-called Negroes,
Saeed
Latinos, and Native
Erekat,
Americans,
recently
as well
had
as the
some advice
confusion
for
of
me.
faces.
He told me to shut up. Mr. Erekat, I will always be respectful, but I will never shut up. I love you too. I hope to be there and join our great ambassador, David Friedman. On the day when we open our brand new American embassy in Jerusalem. UNESCO recently declared one of Judaism's holiest sites, the Tomb of the Patriarchs, as a Palestinian heritage site in need of protection from Israel. That was enough. 10 months into this administration, the United States withdrew from UNESCO.
So you can see, man, how they got these people on the puppet string, man. The so-called Edomites, man. That the Most High has tricked and put into positions of authority, thinking that they're not gonna see the fall, of their empire. All these conferences and meetings and events, you know, that these elites like to sponsor and divulge their ideas and information, it's all gonna crumble very soon, man. Because the words of Yahweh Shema Shai will come to pass. The scriptures is gonna have serious confrontations or serious confrontation with these people's ideologies, man. You know, the scripture talks about there is no enchantment against Israel. There's no counsel against the counsel of Yahweh Shema Shai that can stand. All right, so all these folks doing their applause and standing up and smiling and giggling, the meets and greets, it's all in vain, man. But it's all part of prophecy. You're gonna see more of these in the future. They're the same old folks that dictate the policy of America about going to war, destruction, and all that stuff. They're the ones behind it. They don't like to talk about it. They like to meet in secret. That's how bad things are, man. Folks that in these so-called government agencies that want to do the job of investigating what's going on, they get to hit the brick wall, man. They get taken off investigations because these Amalekites don't want anything coming out there, man. So that's why a lot of people get frustrated and quit. It's because of the influence of these Amalekites, man. All those so-called straight shooters that care about their careers, they can't do nothing because they've been muzzled by these elites, man.
It cannot be the case that in an organization with 193 countries, the United Nations spends half of its time attacking only one country. We will not accept it any longer.
So this is exactly what they want you to see on the news and TV, on the radio, on the internet, day in, day out, man. That the so-called Amalekites are the Israelites. That's what they want to keep on pushing. But the men of the Lord on the highways and byways are the real deal, man. They're the real children of Israel. So you could see the stark comparisons, man. Mosiah talks about his people being in a lower state, sighing and crying, their lives hanging in doubt before them, catching all kinds of hell, you know. And then you see these folks claiming to be the chosen of the Lord. They're running the show, they're destroying the world. The world is not at peace. There's so much sadness and misery. Folks just killing themselves left and right. Pollution is at an all-time high. It's because of these Amalekites, man. They are the ones that are messing things up, man. They can't let go. There's so much hatred in their hearts. And you could see, man, how the Messiah could build up a group of people and then it tears them down. So it's no big surprise, man, that the Lord Yabashim Shai has these folks in a trick bag. And then you in the lower state, the man of the Lord, you see how pumped up in the mind these folks are, man. They amped up about, being in an organization that has so much power and influence that they can't see that that destruction is coming, man. They can't see that the word of Yahweh Shema Shai is true. And they're gonna try hard, to come against the men of the Lord, but we're gonna prevail because the Most High is with us, Yahweh Shema Shai is with us. And it's gonna be so messed up, man, when these are the so-called judges and lawyers and prosecutors. So the so-called U.S. justice system is dominated by these Amalekites, man. Either from the Department of Justice all the way down to the DOD. They pull the strings, man, including Wall Street. So I'll just say Kahalaya Bashima Shai Bashim Kwakadash. It's always good to understand why the Most High put his people in a humble position and the enemies of his people in a high position, man. Servants upon horses, why you have the Prince of Israel, living in the shithole, in the ghettos, doing the dirty jobs, getting all strung out on the philosophies of this society, So you're able to see the big picture of the power of Yahweh Shema Shah, how he could deceive people. The scripture talks about the deceived and the deceiver are his. So the Most High is not to be played around with. I can just stay faithful, stay humble, keep your eyes open, because it's gonna get messed up out here. Shalom.